Whether it's a concert, theater performance, or a sporting event, North American Talk Radio has you covered. Go to natalkradio.com or .us and click the Event Tickets tab on the menu. That's natalkradio.com or .us and click the Event Tickets tab on the menu. Watch all your favorite events in person. That's natalkradio.com or .us and click the Event Tickets tab on the menu.
BetUS and North American Talk Radio have partnered to bring you the preferred betting platform in the United States, and you will get a deposit bonus of up to 150% if you use promo code 120Z. Take it from me, I'm a cowboy and a gambler. I wrangle my bets on BetUS, and I use the promo code 120Z to get free money. Yee-haw! That's BetUS and promo code 120Z. Now giddy up.
Time. It's time for Mike Said It First. I am your host, Michael Carvelis, saying thank you so much for tuning in to North American Talk Radio, The Natter, here on natalkradio.com and streaming live via radio.net and Streama. Reminder, you can catch the replay of this show on YouTube. Just search 12-Ounce Sports. And, of course, on Spotify, search North American Talk Radio. We appreciate all of you for tuning in once again. Again, head over to natalkradio.com. You can also chat live by creating a free account and chat with other listeners, show hosts, you name it. All right, folks. On today's show, it's very simple. I'm going to be getting into Daniel Jones being named quarterback one of my Indianapolis Colts, not just but my Indianapolis Colts, and what Anthony Richardson's agent showed about his own player. I'll also predict the NFL awards that are the offensive rookie, comeback player, defensive player, head coach, and MVP ahead of next week's NFL predictions for me. I'll also talk about how NASCAR at Daytona delivered and showed why fans just needed to take a breath. Who knew? And in Mike's world, I'll get into the NASCAR 25 video game cover, Canada wins gold at World Lacrosse, and Rocky Mountain Raptors win the Box Lacrosse League. Again, thanks so much for joining me here on North American Talk Radio, The Natter. I'm your host, Michael Carvelis. You are listening to Mike Said It First. Follow me at MSIF_TV. Okay, so let's jump right into it now. I'm going to talk about the Indianapolis Colts promoting Daniel Jones. Well, actually, not promoting, but naming him quarterback one of the franchise. And not just for a couple of weeks. No, Coach Shane Steichen was clear in saying he's our guy all year. Now, full disclosure, I have really been supportive of Anthony Richardson. As you guys all know, I am a Daniel Jones fan. I was happy when he joined the team. But I am in no way going to sit here and act like I was also not campaigning for Anthony Richardson. Because at first, I genuinely thought Anthony Richardson, last year, I felt like the tapping out was way overblown, because apparently Jim Harbaugh did it in the 90s. Like, you know, the tough 90s, yeah, quarterback did it back then too. Not saying it's the right thing to do, but it was like, I thought that was overblown. Okay, I thought the plays beforehand, I could see why he was exhausted. I didn't knock him for it. I felt like this preseason, the first snap that he took against the Ravens, where he, blindside hits, dislocated his pinky. I defended him then. And I defended him even when the Colts named Daniel Jones the starter. Now, of course, as you guys know, and as I just said moments ago, I am also a Daniel Jones supporter. I think his hate was way overblown. But to that point, I thought Anthony Richardson should have been the starter because he is the project quarterback. He is the young phenom. You need to give him reps. And folks, I felt that way all the way until about a couple hours later when Anthony Richardson's own agents, who I did not pull the name up, nor do I care to. I know Beck from Beck's Banter talked about it last week. But this is my first time getting to it, okay? He named him. I don't feel like the name is necessary. Anthony Richardson's agent said that the trust has been broken with the team. That was the first statement we got from Anthony Richardson or his representation. The trust has been broken. Folks, that literally showed me all I need to know. And as a person who has this show, Mike said it first, because I believe I'm right most of the time in my sports opinions. And I'm always believing what I talk about. I was wrong on Anthony Richardson because I can now officially proclaim I'm done. I'm out. I don't care anymore. Good riddance to you, moron, okay? His agent releasing that statement is exactly why Daniel Jones is our quarterback one right now. We all know hindsight is 20/20, and in the moment, it felt very weird that Daniel Jones was the starting quarterback. I'll admit that. Every one of the Colts fans will admit that. But I will refuse to have a quarterback hold us hostage. Do folks understand when a quarterback says this, that's a very rare and never heard of thing. If a wide receiver said it in some weird same context, if a running back said it, if a defensive player said it, we would all be like, okay, whatever, they'll work it out. For a proverbial team leader to say this shows more about him than it does the team. It just does. They are not supposed to have these kind of opinions. The only time I can compare it to this, the only other scenario I can think of, is when Lamar Jackson and the Ravens were having their contract dispute. But I don't remember Lamar Jackson saying anything crazy. I don't remember any time where I feel like Lamar Jackson was no longer a franchise quarterback. Anthony Richardson showed us he puts more value in me than he does in team. Okay? You are being tasked with leading a billion-dollar franchise. This could be a teachable moment for Anthony Richardson because he could go out there and say, I'm going to get better. I'm going to prepare for my next moment. No, he gets his agent to go whine and complain about the Colts. Dude, you had your opportunity. You blew it. Shane Steichen didn't blow us. Daniel Jones didn't come in and take your job. You lost the job. That was what had to happen. You had to lose that job, and you did so. And again, I think in preseason, they looked pretty similar. I thought that in training camp, the reports were they were pretty similar. But can we be very honest? Hearing him say this through his agents is very, very different, and it's pretty much the nail in the coffin. Again, if the battles were close, I and many other actual insiders, NFL insiders, believe Anthony Richardson has this job if the job is close. But if he has this attitude, then he does not need the job. And folks, I kind of don't want to be on the Colts anymore. As a Colts fan, but also as a person of the media who thinks that I want to be unbiased, I'm going to put my Colts fan hat on. I don't care for him anymore. I cannot express to you how frustrated I was. I believe it was last Tuesday where I'm sitting there reading this update from this agent through Adam Schefter. I'm like, I was shocked. Again, as a person who beat down my take, who defended Anthony Richardson from everybody, I was wrong. His character was shown right through that agent. And I saw the locker room interview with Anthony Richardson. He said the right things. But again, you can say those things. But for Adam Schefter, with the following that he has, to release that statement through your agent, that's insane to me. And it's unacceptable. A quarterback cannot say those things. Black, white, veteran, rookie. I don't care who you are. You cannot say that. You lost your job. And I'll put it this way. You guys know I quote a lot of First Things First from Fox Sports 1. I love watching that show on YouTube. Nick Wright, when he was talking about Shedeur Sanders, Nick Wright said that when Shedeur was playing preseason, he was also auditioning for 31 other teams. Because what if the Browns don't like him? For me, Anthony Richardson, when he's getting benched, his actions will show. If the Colts like Daniel Jones, so be it. Let them fall, dude. But don't sit there and release that statement. Because now, how many other teams are now going to be turned off by that? Because now you look like a diva. Again, you look like a me-first guy and not a team-first guy. And then the quarterback position, that's the last thing you want to be. Okay? It's a very bad look. And one other thing I'll touch on, I'll get to the Daniel Jones part of this now. I'm of the mindset Daniel Jones has always been held back by the New York Giants being a terrible football team. But I'm going to be very honest with you folks. I think Daniel Jones can be very good for the Colts. I don't know how good. MVP, obviously not. But do I think Daniel Jones can look like a good quarterback? Yes, I do. My favorite thing, though, is when the same popular media that swore up and down that Daniel Jones was a terrible quarterback with the Giants now says, you know what? He might be good with the Colts. Guys, you cannot say that. When you have the platform you do, when you contributed to the downfall of this player, you cannot say, you know what, he might be good. That you're not allowed to have that opinion. Because if you're going to do that, you must apologize first. I'm not saying to apologize to professional athletes. I'm saying to apologize to the fans, to your listeners. When you told people this guy sucked, he couldn't read defense, he couldn't throw coming out of the draft. Okay? That was what you guys told the fans to believe, and they have slurped it up. That's me licking my fingers. Again, slurped it up. Okay? I literally just licked my fingers live here on the North American Talk Radio. It wasn't a soundbite, but you guys loved what you told people. You embraced it. You were like, he's the reason. And watch when the Giants suck it up this year. Watch when the Colts look pretty decent this year. I'm going to laugh my head off, and all you analysts are going to slowly come around, and you're going to act like nothing happened. You're not allowed to do that until you apologize to the fans first. Guys, I don't care how many Mel Kipers, how many experts of the game claim that Daniel Jones is not good. You either think he's great, you think he's bad, you think he's good. Most of you, if not all of you, thought he was bad. I am here for all of the energy and the smoke going forward. If I'm wrong, I'll be wrong. Just like I just admitted I was wrong about Anthony Richardson. And by the way, before I move on here and take a break, I do not think Anthony Richardson is an untalented player. I think his stats last year were terrible. I also know the amount of competitive football he has under his belt after high school. At Florida, he had like 12 starts. I know, that was one of the knocks against him. Guys, he is still 23 years old, or 22. That is insanely young for a quarterback. He still has a chance, but he has a very long ways to go. And it makes a lot of sense why Daniel Jones is the starter for this year. Again, I don't want Anthony Richardson on the Colts anymore because he showed he's done with us. Good for you, dude. Move on. But I'm not gonna say the guy cannot throw a football. But with that mindset, I don't know if we'll ever be able to showcase that he can. Again, I will stand by what I said with my scouting, my armchair scouting of him. I never played. I get it. It's fine. I thought he could make throws look effortless, and very few people in history can do what he can do, what he showed in college. When you look at when he would just sit there and just jack a ball 70 yards, that sounds terrible. When he would launch a ball 70 yards in the air as if it was nothing to him, that's a big deal to me. That's a freak athlete to me. And he runs like a 4.40. The guy still got potential, whether we want to admit it or not, whether I want to admit it or not. But make no mistake, he's got a long ways to go, and Daniel Jones, after what that agent said, is officially the right move. I'll tell you what else is the right move. Me getting a drink of water here as I take a break here on North American Talk Radio. You're listening to Mike City First. Coming up next, I will predict 5 prestigious National Football League awards for this season. Again, heading up to my season preview and predictions next Monday. Thanks for listening. We'll be right back to Mike City First. Don't go anywhere.
Want tickets for less while helping grassroots radio? Well, at North American Talk Radio, we've partnered with a top ticketing platform to give our listeners the best prices to all the best events. Whether it's a concert, theater performance, or a sporting event, North American Talk Radio has you covered. Go to natalkradio.com or .us and click the Event Tickets tab on the menu. That's natalkradio.com or .us and click the Event Tickets tab on the menu. Watch all your favorite events in person. That's natalkradio.com or .us and click the Event Tickets tab on the menu.
Are you ready to place bets? Join MyBookie today and discover exciting opportunities. North American Talk Radio has partnered with the cutting-edge gambling platform to offer unique bets, several ways to play and win, and you can even use crypto to play. MyBookie offers a seamless platform for all your gambling needs, and MyBookie has you covered with a vast array of options. Explore their different markets and bet types. There's something for everyone. Discover MyBookie's special introductory offer by using North American Talk Radio's special promo code, which is 120Z Sports, all caps, no spaces, and you'll get a deposit bonus up to $1,000. MyBookie offers a thrilling experience, so sign up today and be sure to use the promo code 120Z Sports, all caps, no spaces, for huge cash bonuses. Get in the game and good luck.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
We're so locked in right now. Did that hurt your ears when I said that? Like the high-pitched voice? Hey, thank you for tuning in, everybody. You're listening to North American Talk Radio, The Natter. Be sure to follow our socials at NA Talk Radio on X and Instagram. You can also like us on Facebook. Just search North American Talk Radio. We are streaming live at natalkradio.com, where you can create a free profile and join in the conversation in the homepage group chat. Again, free profile, chat with listeners and show hosts alike. And we are also streaming live on Streama and radio.net. And this show, again, will be replayed on YouTube via 12 on Sports and audio only via Spotify. Search North American Talk Radio. This is Mike City First. I'm your host, Michael Carvelis. We are about 18 minutes into the show with a few more topics to go. I just talked about Daniel Jones being named the quarterback one of the Colts and how Anthony Richardson's agent showed everything I need to know about Anthony Richardson. Now let's get into predicting the NFL awards and the NFL honors for 2025-26. Now, for the record, I do want to make mention that next Monday at 4 o'clock Eastern, right here live, on natalkradio.com, I will be giving you my entire NFL predictions, which includes every division winner, the top 10 worst teams, aka the top 10 draft picks, AFC and NFC 1 through 7 seeds. I'll give you 3 bold predictions, and I'll also give you my Super Bowl and playoff predictions. Again, that is next Monday on Mike's It First. Follow MSIF_TV on Twitter. Now, as I do these awards, I've got 5 prestigious ones to get to, and I think you're going to like them, believe me. The first one I'm going to get to right now is going to be the Offensive Rookie of the Year. As you heard before, I'm a Colts fan. I tried my best to not give the Colts too many awards, right? Can't bleed too much blue here on this show. Offensive Rookie candidates that I looked at right off the bat were Colts tight end Tyler Warren, Patriots running back Trevion Henderson, Buccaneers wide receiver Emeka Egbuka. I hate saying that. I don't hate saying it, it's just hard to say. Emeka Egbuka, there we go, and Jaguars wide receiver Travis Hunter. Now, I'm going to start with Travis Hunter. Fun fact, his little brother Travis, spelled Trayvis, is a wide receiver here for Effingham County Rebels. They live. That high school is literally 5 minutes from my house. Travis Hunter is Travis's little brother, and he plays high school and caught a touchdown last week on Friday. So we appreciate Travis for all he's doing for this community, because believe me, on Friday night I went to the gas station. I was like, what is going on here? Why are there so many cars? I was like, oh yeah, Travis Hunter plays for the team. Duh. Anyways, as far as Travis Hunter is concerned, I think if Trevor Lawrence does well this year, Travis Hunter will do so as well. I also think that head coach Liam Cohen, who helped out Baker Mayfield, could be very good for this offense, which means good things for Travis Hunter. The funny thing about Travis Hunter this year is you can bet for him to win Defensive Rookie of the Year and Offensive Rookie of the Year. I had no idea. Maybe I did, but I don't know if anybody has thought about that. Like, it's not just one Rookie of the Year. This guy could win both Rookies of the Year. Like, is anyone thinking about that? You can bet on mybookie.ag and on DraftKings, any of them. You can go on there and bet for Offensive Rookie being Travis Hunter and Defensive Rookie. It's insane. But I think there's a shot he gets offensive, because obviously wide receivers put up huge numbers. And for defensive rookies, you kind of have to snag a lot of interceptions. If not that, you kind of have to be some sack machine. Other player I'll get to break down here, Colts tight end Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren, he's so good. I know like everybody thought he was good at Penn State. Guys, he had heavy usage in the preseason. That is very rare for a rookie of any position. When you're getting used that much, that early, it's with the first stringers, yeah, you're going to have a big year. I also think Daniel Jones does not like to air it out a bunch. He'll take the security blanket throws, and one of those guys could be your tight end, Tyler Warren. And by the way, the Colts have had tight ends like Jelani Woods, Mo Alley Cox, Kylan Granson. Tyler Warren is the guy Chris Ballard has been waiting for, and he finally got him. So Tyler Warren could be a big chance for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Patriots running back Trevion Henderson, the reason he comes up is because Mike Vrabel loves to run the ball. Just look at Derrick Henry. I'm not saying Trevion Henderson is Derrick Henry, but I do think he could have a big year. He's been great in preseason, just asked back from Beck's banter. And also, the health of Ramondre Stevenson could also play a factor in this as well. Buccaneers wide receiver Emeka Egbuka. Listen, Mike Evans is getting older. He's going to fall off someday. Chris Godwin's never healthy. And Baker Mayfield likes to spread it around. I think Egbuka, God darn me, Double E is going to have a good year. Another, again, Ohio State rookie. I think Double E went to Ohio State. I know Trevion did. I like Trevion Ohio State actually too. My pick is going to be Colts tight end Tyler Warren. I know, boo me all you want to. I think Tyler Warren is going to have heavy usage, is going to be a unicorn out there, and I think he is going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. And I believe those odds, last time I checked them, was plus 2,300. Guys, I'm telling you, just because he's a tight end, you want to grab those now. Comeback Player of the Year, I've got Colts quarterback Daniel Jones, 49ers running back Christian McCaffrey, and Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence. Now hear me out here, all right? For Daniel Jones, everyone knows I'm rooting for him, so I kind of like can dismiss myself there. I think the Colts have some really good weapons. Michael Pittman Jr. is a good outside threat. Josh Downs is a machine inside, a great little slot receiver. Tyler Warren, did I mention him? So I think they've got a really good team. They also have Jonathan Taylor. And also, yeah, so Colts have really good weapons. And I also want to mention here that he's going to have a better offensive line than he did with the Giants. And everyone hates on him, so he can shock the world and become a very good story. So that's a thing for Daniel Jones. Like, all those storylines apply. And Jeff Beck on our listeners on NATalkRadio.com said, did I hear ball jacking? Boy, that was 10 minutes ago, but yes, and that was my fault for checking it 10 minutes later. But yeah, that was ball jacking. Have I already been in this segment for 10 minutes? That's insane. Anyways, yeah, ball jacking. That was when I was talking about, who was I talking about that? I forgot what quarterback I was talking about. Anthony Richardson, who can ball jack it. Just remember that. Hashtag ball jacking. Okay, now I'm good. I got my fix then for the day. But no, I think Daniel Jones, the storyline alone is going to help him if he does look adequate as a quarterback, or dare I say pretty good. 49ers running back Christian McCaffrey is also a favorite, and I believe the favorite for Comeback Player of the Year. He's old enough. He's old for a running back with high mileage, but the reports are out of 49ers camp, is that Christian McCaffrey looks good. I have always liked Christian McCaffrey. Obviously, the health is a big thing. I also think Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy need Christian McCaffrey to do well this year. So I think he could be a safe bet for Comeback Player of the Year. And finally, Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence. I did mention head coach Liam Cohen. Whether he's a good head coach or not, I don't know. But the fact is that he helped Baker Mayfield reach his potential in Tampa Bay. A reminder, the AFC South is still an easy division to capitalize on, which means tear it up, you know? And I think Trevor Lawrence is in a prove-it year, and he seems healthy. I do have to mention one caveat to Trevor Lawrence being Comeback Player of the Year, though, or being a good quarterback in general. When you watch this guy have interviews, and I know this sounds like a weird psychology breakdown from me, and I don't have a degree in counseling like Jeff Beck does from Counselor's Corner. He's got a degree in counseling from Cornell, so I don't even know if this applies to the situation. I think Trevor Lawrence on his interviews does not look locked in. And I know it's a weird thing for me to pick on. And I'm in no ways a Jaguars hater. I know I'm a Colts fan. I don't care about the Jaguars. They were never relevant to me. Like, they had David Garrard as their quarterback when I was a kid. I don't care about the Jaguars. Or I like Trevor Lawrence at Clemson. I'm happy the Jaguars have Travis Hunter and Trevor Lawrence. And it's also the closest football stadium to me, which is like 2 hours away. So I can't hate on the Jaguars that much. That being said, I don't think Trevor Lawrence ever looks locked in. I think he looks satisfied being, like, having a hot wife, having a kid, having money. I don't think he having great hair. I don't think Trevor Lawrence ever looks like he's ready to win. I don't know. Maybe it's just his demeanor. Maybe it's good that he has a calm demeanor. Maybe Jeff Beck from Counselor's Corner can chime in on that. That's the way I feel. And I really had this epiphany in the last 7 days. I know it sounds weird. That's just how I feel right now. All right? So of my Comeback Players of the Year that I talked about, I'm going with 49ers running back Christian McCaffrey. I think the 49ers are going to have a decent year, And I think Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy need this guy. I think Christian McCaffrey is a better bet than Daniel Jones and Trevor Lawrence. Now, let's get to Defensive Player of the Year. And I've got 3 of them right here. We got 49ers, and if you can hear my family cutting the grass, I apologize. That sounds stupid, unprofessional. I hope you can't hear that. If you can, I'm sorry. No sponsorships for John Deere over here. Anyways, 49ers edge, Nick Bosa. I think he could be in contention for Defensive Player of the Year. I think Browns edge rusher Myles Garrett could do the same. And I think Steelers linebacker / edge rusher TJ Watt could do the same. Now, let's break each of them down here, shall we? Nick Bosa is part of a depleted defense, but he's one of the guys who came back. They also have linebacker Fred Warner. I think Nick Bosa, if the 49ers do well with Robert Saleh coming back for the defensive coordinator spot, he could have a... See, this is what I'm talking about. He could have a big year. Again, I don't know if you hear that cracking, but it's about to piss me off. But Nick Bosa could have a big year for the 49ers. For the Browns, with Myles Garrett, newsflash and spoiler for next week, I don't think the Browns are going to win many games at all. I don't think they're going to come close. Their quarterback situation is a big problem. I do believe in Kevin Stefanski, and I do think if they do win 5 games this year, Myles Garrett could be a reason why. Because he's going to have a bunch of sacks. He always has a bunch of sacks. But I'm going to go with Steelers linebacker TJ Watt. Folks, I'm going to be honest. The last 7 days I've had a few epiphanies. I've learned that Anthony Richardson is a me first guy, not a team first guy. Through his agent, I've learned that what did I just learn earlier? Anyways, I learned that on Cameron Hayward's podcast, when he was talking to Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf, I actually think that the Steelers have a good locker room. Oh, and I also learned that Trevor Lawrence kind of seems a little bit not locked in. But yeah, I think Steelers, they look kind of locked in. I think Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf said all the right things. I'm not going to buy into the media hatred of Aaron Rodgers. And I think if God forbid, if the Steelers make the playoffs, I think TJ Watt could get a lot of recognition. Because remember, the Steelers, when they're good, when they make the playoffs, it's always the defense that gets the credit. So I think TJ Watt is my pick for Defensive Player of the Year. Did I just tell you the Steelers are going to make the playoffs? We'll have to see. Head Coach of the Year, there are 6 guys that I considered. Chicago Bears, Ben Johnson, first-year head coach. Patriots, Mike Vrabel, first-year head coach in New England. Green Bay Packers, Matt LaFleur. Rams, Sean McVay. Colts, you know what I'm saying, Shane Steichen. And Washington Commanders, or Redskins, Dan Quinn. Now, Ben Johnson, I thought, again, it's only preseason. I thought Caleb Williams looked really awesome in the preseason game that he did play. I think it was week 2 of preseason. He looked awesome. He looked confident. And I do think Ben Johnson has really said the right things in training camp about throwing the playbook at Caleb Williams, seeing what he can handle, and then reeling back what he needed to do. I also believe that Ben Johnson chose the Bears for a reason, because he believes he can work with Caleb Williams. For the Patriots, Mike Vrabel had success in Tennessee, and Tennessee never had a great roster. But this guy was able to outcoach Bill Belichick in a playoff game. I believe the last playoff game Brady and Belichick were a part of was when they lost the Titans. I could be wrong, but I think that's the thing. But I think with Josh McDaniels there, and Drake May taking a big step, and Trevion Henderson, I think Patriots could look pretty good. I think the Packers have a winnable division. I'm not convinced about J.J. McCarthy. I do like Kevin O'Connell. But remember, Vikings lost to the Giants with Daniel Jones. I'll be honest about that. That was a bad loss for them. And again, that was with Kirk Cousins. But do we think J.J. is going to be automatically better than Kirk Cousins was 2 years ago? No. Do I think J.J. is going to be better than Sam Darnold was last year? No. I don't care how good the kid is. It's not happening this year. The Bears with Ben Johnson, that's up and down. You've got the Lions who lost both their coordinators. Matt LaFleur could be in a big spot to win Coach of the Year because Packers could have a great year. The Rams with Sean McVay, I think for the Rams, for Sean McVay to win Coach of the Year, Rams have to have the number 1 or the number 2 seed. I don't think, even if Stafford's healthy, they can just sneak in. I think Rams have to be as good as many media members think they will be. I think for the Colts with Shane Steichen, you look at where the Colts were last year, the fact that Shane Steichen chose Daniel Jones, and if Daniel Jones looks good this year, and Colts make the playoffs over the Texans and over the Jaguars, I think that could be a big deal for his abilities here, or his resume for this year. And Washington Commanders Dan Quinn, folks, do you realize what Dan Quinn's resume is right now? He built the Legion of Boom in Seattle, and they won a Super Bowl and almost beat the Patriots, by the way, if not for Malcolm Butler and Pete Carroll. And then you look at the fact he was with the Falcons, had the Patriots up 28-3. That happened with MVP Matt Ryan. He goes to the Cowboys as a defensive coordinator, and their defense looks like best in the league, including Trevon Diggs and Micah Parsons. He goes to the Commanders last year. Folks, the Commanders came out of nowhere, and Jaden Daniels looks like a really good quarterback. So I fully believe in Dan Quinn. I think he's my second pick, but number 1 for me is Green Bay Packers Matt LaFleur. I think that division is so up in the air. The one constant this year is going to be the Packers. I know Jordan Love has to have a good year. I'm fine with that. I think Packers' record could be very good. Full disclosure and full sneak peek. And finally, league MVP. Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes, Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts, Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford, and Bills quarterback Josh Allen. Now, you notice I mentioned all quarterbacks because if we're being realistic, the media only gives this award to quarterbacks. Even when Saquon Barkley did what he did last year, I know the offensive line contributed to that, they don't give this award to running backs or wide receivers. They don't. They barely give votes to defensive players, all right? So, for Jalen Hurts, what has to happen for him to win MVP? Well, first of all, I think media is going to buy into them because I do think, again, sneak peek, that the Eagles are going to have a really good year once again. But he has to throw a bunch of yards and a bunch of touchdowns. I don't know if he'll do that this year, because I don't know if that's how they want to win. For Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford, his health is a major concern, especially with the back issue. And by the way, last time he had a back issue, he played through it. That was like 10 years ago. Folks, Matthew Stafford's an old man now. The back issue could linger, and I don't know if the Rams are going to run through the NFC like everyone thinks they will. Bills quarterback Josh Allen is who I almost chose. Because remember, Lamar Jackson already has 2 MVPs, but he doesn't have the ring. Remember, Patrick Mahomes already has an MVP and already has the Super Bowls, and a bunch of media members are starting to hate him for some reason. I think Josh Allen could be a media darling this year, but I think Chiefs are going to have a really good year. I think Mahomes gets back an MVP this year. I do. I think Patrick Mahomes with Rashee Rice, even though he'll be suspended for 4 to 6 games or whatever it's going to be, I think Isaiah Pacheco is going to look good this year. Kareem Hunt's still there. Travis Kelce looks fresh, even though his girlfriend is a weirdo and likes to promote sex stuff. Topic for another day. I'm just saying, if she's your role model, that's a weird thing. Whatever, that's a side tangent. I think that, who's their little speedster? Is McCole Hardman they have right now could look good. I know they treated Sky Moore to the Niners. That was interesting. I just think Chiefs are going to look good this year. And so I think Mahomes will win the MVP, even though I could also see Josh Allen going back-to-back. All right, folks, when I come back to the show, I'm going to talk about NASCAR at Daytona and how well it delivered. And stay tuned for Mike's World coming up on North American Talk Radio. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back to MSIF.
Want tickets for less while helping grassroots radio? Well, at North American Talk Radio, we've partnered with a top ticketing platform to give our listeners the best prices to all the best events. Whether it's a concert, theater performance, or a sporting event, North American Talk Radio has you covered. Go to natalkradio.com or .us and click the Event Tickets tab on the menu. That's natalkradio.com or .us and click the Event Tickets tab on the menu. Watch all your favorite events in person. That's natalkradio.com or .us and click the Event Tickets tab on the menu.
BetUS and North American Talk Radio have partnered to bring you the preferred betting platform in the United States, and you will get a deposit bonus of up to 150% if you use promo code 120Z. Take it from me, I'm a cowboy and a gambler. I wrangle my bets on BetUS, and I use the promo code 120Z to get free money. Yee-haw! That's BetUS and promo code 120Z. Now giddy up.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Mike said it first. Donna. Yeah. Wick. What's up, guys? You're listening to Mike said it first here on North American Talk Radio, The Natter. We appreciate you for all that you do. We are streaming live on natalkradio.com, also on Streama and radio.net. Those are radio apps and websites. You're going to love what they do. We are also going to be replayed on 12 Ounce Sports via YouTube in at it's kind of like 5:30 probably. And of course, check us out on Spotify, North American Talk Radio. Be sure to follow NA Talk Radio on Twitter and Instagram, and like North American Talk Radio on Facebook. All right, boy, that's enough promotions, ain't it? All right, on today's show so far, I have talked about Daniel Jones being quarterback one of the Colts and how I'm out on Anthony Richardson as a Colts fan because of his agent being a weirdo speaking for him and making Anthony Richardson look like a me guy, not a team guy. I predicted some NFL awards. Offensive rookie was Colts tight end Tyler Warren. My comeback player pick is 49ers running back Christian McCaffrey. Defensive player of the year prediction, Steelers linebacker / edge rusher TJ Watt. Head coach of the year, Green Bay Packers Matt LaFleur. And my MVP, slightly beating Josh Allen, is of course Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes. We thank you so much for tuning in. It's now time to get into my NASCAR at Daytona delivered segment, and boy, I'm so excited for this one, even if I do say so myself. You're listening to Mike Said It First. So here's the thing. Coming into Daytona, the Coke 0400. Oh yeah, it was Saturday night, and man, it was awesome. I want to give a shout out to the Australian person, or wherever he's from. He sounds like he's from Australia. Might be from New Zealand. The guy who broadcast the games for NBC. He is so good. I know he doesn't just do NASCAR, but man, this guy is so good. Can you believe the finish that we're about to see? He was electric, and his call made this even more perfect. Now, Joey Logano was leading the race and randomly spun out. He got loose off the backstretch and spun out with 12 laps to go, setting up a crazy finish, all right? Then, at the line, there were 5 drivers that finished second through, I believe, 7th or 8th, that if they won this race, based on NASCAR's current format, they could have ended up making the playoffs, okay? If you're new to NASCAR, I'm sorry. And if you're old to NASCAR and haven't checked in a while, I'm also sorry. But it's kind of like a win and you're in kind of format. So, at the line, Ryan Blaney won the race out of nowhere. It was a great finish. I and many others thought they were going to crash. So Ryan Blaney gets his second win of the year. The drivers who finished right behind him and right beside him, really, were Cole Custer, Daniel Suarez, who's going to lose his job this year, Justin Haley, Eric Jones was driving the number 43 blue STP car. It was like a Richard Petty throwback. And Chris Buescher was also right there. If any of those guys behind Blaney won, they would be in the playoffs. And then again, that includes Daniel Suarez, who won't have a job. That includes Cole Custer, whose team might fold. It's incredible what was at stake there. But Ryan Blaney got the win. The drama was the drama. Now, earlier in the race, Alex Bowman, who drives the number 48 car, remember, used to be driven by Jimmy Johnson, Alex Bowman was right on the bubble of making the playoffs or missing them. And here's the problem, folks. Alex Bowman was 9th in regular standings, had a bunch of top 10s, had a few top 5s, but he hadn't won a race. And remember, in the regular season this year, there were 14 different winners. Alex Bowman was not one of them. I love that rule. I think it makes strategy much more competitive. I think the races having like 3 stages is also way more competitive than it was when I was a kid. And I don't want to see Jimmy Johnson win 7 consecutive or 6 consecutive championships. I thought that was boring. Seeing this format is awesome. But guess what? When Bowman got wrecked early on, that meant that Tyler Reddick was now in the playoffs. So now it came down to Alex Bowman or if any of those other guys won the race. And thankfully for Alex Bowman, who said that he owes Ryan Blaney 7 million beers, he made the playoffs. Good for you, Bowman. And for you fans out there who claim the system sucks only when it benefits your driver or doesn't benefit your driver, you're insane. It kind of reminds me, it's almost like the cousin of the take where if the Chiefs win every game, the NFL is rigged. But if the Eagles win, everything's fine. It's weird how fans operate. Again, it's okay to root for certain people, but don't say a sport sucks or a league is rigged if your guy doesn't make it. And again, it's funny how I keep being proven right. Alex Bowman fans are now very happy with this playoff system. Why is that? Because your guy made it. See how dumb you sounded before? And shout out to Jeff Beck from Political Party. The first episode aired last Friday, and he said politics is like sports fans on steroids. And I agree. It's just what it is, man. He used the line that, like, they get blinded. It's like, yeah, like, sports fans get blinded by their own fandom. It's like, can we stop with this crap? Political Party airs every Friday night at 7 o'clock Eastern, by the way, on natalkradio.com. All right. And also, I want to mention the round of 16 will feature Darlington, Worldwide Technology, and Bristol. So again, for the next 3 weeks, they'll be racing in those places. And then they're going to cut down to 12 drivers. Remember, 16 drivers make the cup, make the playoffs, and then 12 of them will remain after those 3 races. And again, winning is the big deal there. All right, folks, when I come back to the show, we're going to wrap it up in our final 10-ish minutes with Mike's World. I'll talk about the NASCAR 25 video game. I'll talk about Canada winning gold at World Lacrosse overseas. And I'll talk about how the Rocky Mountain Raptors won the Box Lacrosse League. Thanks so much for listening. We'll be right back to Mike's the First on The Natter.
Want tickets for less while helping grassroots radio? Well, at North American Talk Radio, we've partnered with a top ticketing platform to give our listeners the best prices to all the best events. Whether it's a concert, theater performance, or a sporting event, North American Talk Radio has you covered. Go to natalkradio.com or .us and click the Event Tickets tab on the menu. That's natalkradio.com or .us and click the Event Tickets tab on the menu. Watch all your favorite events in person. That's natalkradio.com or .us and click the Event Tickets tab on the menu.
Are you ready to place bets? Join MyBookie today and discover exciting opportunities. North American Talk Radio has partnered with the cutting-edge gambling platform to offer unique bets, several ways to play and win, and you can even use crypto to play. MyBookie offers a seamless platform for all your gambling needs, and MyBookie has you covered with a vast array of options. Explore their different markets and bet types. There's something for everyone. Discover MyBookie's special introductory offer by using North American Talk Radio's special promo code, which is 120Z Sports, all caps, no spaces, and you'll get a deposit bonus up to $1,000. MyBookie offers a thrilling experience, so sign up today and be sure to use the promo code 120Z Sports, all caps, no spaces, for huge cash bonuses. Get in the game and good luck.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Oh, yeah. You're listening to Mike Said It First here on North American Talk Radio, The Natter. We urge you to follow at MSIF_TV to interact with this show. I also want to say, part of the Mike Said It First podcast stuff, reminder, tomorrow and every Tuesday at 4 o'clock Eastern, I have What is Michael Carvelis Watching? And tomorrow's show, I've got reviewing the movie Sketch, again, with no spoilers in that movie review. You'll want to tune into that. Coming up at 7 o'clock Eastern tonight is Beck's Banter. If you're listening live here on natalkradio.com, we thank you once again. Alrighty, folks, let's get into this. La 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 la, la la la, Mike's World. Oh, hey, Elmo, what are we talking about today? Well, Mike's going to talk about NASCAR 2025 video game. And, okay, you know what? Screw the I'm done with the Elmo voice from now on. I'm tired of it. I can't talk for an hour. You guys don't care. Okay, so the NASCAR 25 video game has been officially announced. And by official, I mean they released the cover, because October 14th is when it comes out for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X/S. For some reason, though, iRacing, who makes the game, is not going to release the game for PC right away, and that I don't understand. Like, you guys literally were born on the PC. Like, why is it the one time I buy a PC device, I get screwed? It's the story of my life. Anyways, I'm excited for this game. Again, it comes out in like a month and a half, October 14th. It's the first real NASCAR game we've had in a while, and iRacing has such a cult following. I'm excited for it. On the cover, like the cover athletes, if you will, from left to right, is Christopher Bell, Alex Bowman, who we talked about earlier, and Ryan Blaney. Now, I don't hate the cover, but I think those drivers are not really selling points. Because if I had it my way, or should I say, what is that song by the Backstreet Boys? Like, My Way, I don't know what it's called. Regardless, I'm not a pop culture guy, apparently. My ideal cover would have featured any three of the following drivers, okay? Jimmy Johnson, I know he's retired, but he still raced a couple of times last year. And he also owns a freaking race team. Michael Jordan. Like, why? I don't know what they'd have to do to go through that, but I wouldn't mind seeing him on there. Joey Logano, 3-time champion, still a very good driver. Chase Elliott, 1-time champion, very good driver, fan favorite type fella. Shane Van Gisbergen, who has taken the NASCAR Cup Series by storm with his dominance on the road courses. Why can't that be a thing? Denny Hamlin, who suddenly everyone roots for, including me, because he hasn't won a championship yet, but is still a very popular driver and is a very dominant driver. Or Connor Zilisch. I know the guy broke his collarbone after winning like a couple of weeks ago in the Xfinity Series, which will now be the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series next year, by the way. I just think that any of those 3 drivers would have worked. I guess we're stuck with Christopher Bell, Alex Bowman, and Ryan Blaney. But also, I'm not really concerned about the cover. I'm more excited about the game. Maybe next year, if they do like a yearly thing, let's hope next year's a better cover. All right? Now, let's get into this, as we're about 5 minutes away from the show ending. Canada won gold at the World Lacrosse. Like, who knew that was going to happen? It was field lacrosse, by the way. And they did beat the United States. And that came down to literally the last seconds. There was a big save by Grayson Manning to make sure that game stayed 6-5. So again, Canada won the gold medal. But here's the thing, folks. It was the first ever U20 championship, by the way. I forgot where that game was played. Teddy Jenner had the call. He was awesome. I just don't like the fact that we had to pay $35 to watch these games. I think, I could be wrong, but I heard the gold medal game was free. But it's like, if this is growing the game, can we not hide it behind a $35 paywall? Like, you cannot say we're growing the game and put this thing on pay-per-view. It doesn't make any sense, okay? Because no one's doing anything proactively to grow the game. Like, UFC already had a cult following, then they went to pay-per-view. You can't sit there when you're trying to build up the league and say, nope, pay $35 to watch. Like, what? No, that's dumb. Again, it's awesome there was so much talent. It's awesome the U.S. almost won the dang thing. But I don't think it's right when we hide lacrosse behind a paywall. You guys know my thoughts on that. Stay tuned for Daily Dive, because Season 4 returns November 3rd, 2025. Alrighty, finally, speaking of lacrosse, in the Box Lacrosse League, the Rocky Mountain Raptors crushed the San Diego Royals in the championship of the Harvest Classic as they won the championship. That was awesome. I'm glad that happened. Those games are both up on the third place game and the championship game are both up on the Box Lacrosse League YouTube channel. Remember, on the 12 on Sports YouTube channel, we got to do a bunch of things as well, especially, for the Raptors, we got all their home games. So that was awesome. I'm glad the Raptors snuck in. I'm assuming that won the thing, because I'm going to be honest, folks, I told some friends I didn't think they were going to win it. I was wrong. And I'm glad I was wrong. They're awesome. Shout out to Nate Dean. Shout out to the goalie, Charlie Witt. Shout out to Dimitri Cruz, the whole crew, Cameron Swearingen, who helped us out on camera. It was awesome. I'm glad that happened for the Raptors. Let's go Dinosaurs. Alrighty, folks, that's it from me. For the last 2 minutes, I guess I want to say you guys have a great rest of your day. Reminder to always head over to natalkradio.com, where you can make a free profile and interact with fans and show hosts alike, especially on the home page. You can also give yourself a profile picture and a wall picture. That's not a bad deal. Also, North American Talk Radio has some great things coming. From what I've been told, I'm excited for that. Reminder, this show airs every Monday, 4 o'clock Eastern, live on natalkradio.com. We also stream live on Streama and radio.net and replayed on 12 on Sports via YouTube, and also search on Spotify North American Talk Radio. Tomorrow, I have another show. It's about movies. It's called What is Michael Carvelis Watching? Part of my little Mike Said It First kind of umbrella of podcasts. I don't want to make a Twitter for every single podcast I do, all right? I'll be talking about a sketch tomorrow with much more movies to come. And yeah, we had a great show. Again, Jeff Beck commented earlier about ball jacking. Listen, again, hashtag ball jacking is what Anthony Richardson does. And again, a review of today's show before we head out of here. Daniel Jones' quarterback wanted the Colts, but I thought Anthony Richardson's agent made a very bad look for AR. And I'm totally out on AR at this point in time, even though I do still think he could be good. My NFL award predictions: offensive rookie was Tyler Warren for the Colts tight end. 49ers running back Christian McCaffrey is my pick for comeback player of the year. Defensive player of the year was Steelers linebacker TJ Watt. Head coach of the year was Packers Matt LaFleur. My MVP was quarterback Patrick Mahomes of the Chiefs. And NASCAR at Daytona delivered. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. Beck Spano tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern, NATalkRadio.com. Have a great rest of your day.